first time I've seen my jersey. Oh, I love this. It's like I'm a rookie all over again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of our Sport Pulse Breakdown, a place where passion meets performance and where the numbers speak louder than the boasts. Today we're unpacking a saga that has captured the imagination of fans across the league. The dramatic fallout following the announcement that a certain player's jersey sold out in record time, leaving a rival fuming. The narrative centers on two prominent figures whose stories could easily be mistaken for a blockbuster sports drama. On one side, we have Angel Reese, whose public outrage over this development has been as loud as it is perplexing. On the other, there's Sophie Cunningham, a player who quietly entered the scene and made an immediate, undeniable impact. In our Sport Pulse broadcast, we're not just recounting events, we're examining every nuance of the situation, scrutinizing the marketing battles, the fan responses, and the implications for the league at large. So buckle up as we journey through the details of how a sold-out jersey became the symbol of contrasting narratives in modern basketball. The moment the news broke that Sophie Cunningham's jersey had completely sold out, an unexpected chain reaction set off among fans and critics alike. While most supporters celebrated this milestone as evidence of genuine fan excitement and a promising future for the player, one prominent voice couldn't help but explode with indignation. That voice belonged to Angel Reese, a player known for her larger-than-life presence and her bold claims of stardom.
With the coaching staff as they maybe discuss what this season could be like both for the team and for you.
Yeah, I've always been a huge fan of Stephanie White, and I'm not kidding. We in college we played.
According to our Sport Pulse insiders, Angel's reaction was immediate and fiery. Instead of focusing on her own performance or letting the achievement pass without comment, she launched into what can only be described as a full-blown public tantrum. It was as though she believed that this sellout should have been a given, a natural consequence of her own supposed dominance in the league. But here's the twist. It wasn't her merchandise that was flying off the shelves. In fact, Sophie Cunningham's jersey was the one that had captured the hearts and wallets of fans across the board. The uproar was so intense that one could easily compare it to the drama of an Olympic snub. Yet this wasn't about a missed opportunity on an international stage, it was about market demand. Angel's frustration wasn't about her performance on the court. It was about the cold, hard reality of fan engagement. In her eyes, Sophie's sellout was a slap in the face, a sign that the fans preferred the unassuming efficiency of a player who lets her game do the talking, rather than someone who continuously shouts about her greatness. This moment of discord raised many questions. Is Angel's outburst a sign of deeper insecurity? Does she really believe that a few unsold jerseys are proof that she's been overlooked? Or is this simply another chapter in an ongoing narrative of self-promotion that fails to align with real-world results? Whatever the reason, the situation struck a chord, sparking debates across social media, sports talk shows, and even among casual observers who suddenly found themselves embroiled in a discussion about authenticity versus hype. Let's break down the incident further. Imagine sitting in the front row of a sold-out arena, watching your hero perform with the kind of energy and charisma that fills the stands with electric anticipation. Now imagine hearing that the jersey of another player, someone who doesn't seem to dominate the headlines nearly as much, has completely vanished from the shelves. For many, that's a moment of pure excitement, a sign that the league is evolving and that new talents are emerging. But for Angel Reese, it became an opportunity to spotlight her own narrative, a narrative in which she is the star attraction, the main character around whom the entire league revolves. Angel's response was to ramp up the rhetoric.
I played, she coached against me and whatnot, and so we've known each other for quite a long time. And since I've been in the league, I was like, hey, when are you gonna coach me? You know, like it was always just kind of a running joke. And
in her eyes, this wasn't just about merchandise. It was about respect, recognition, and the validation of her status. Every unsold piece of her own merchandise was a reminder that the public was not, in fact, as enamored with her persona as she believed. It wasn't enough for her to simply play well on the court. She needed to be seen, heard, and celebrated off the court as well. In her mind, the sellout of Sophie's jersey was evidence that the fans' attention was directed elsewhere, a reality that stung more than any missed opportunity in a high-stakes game. There's a certain theatrical quality to Angel's behavior that can't be ignored. The way she publicly decries the sellout is reminiscent of a performer who, when faced with an unexpected twist in the script, chooses to overact rather than adapt. instead of taking a step back to reassess her approach.
4 years, and so to finally all kind of come together just at the right time, I'm stoked. I think she's a heck of a coach. I love her offense. I love her approach to games and her approach to her players and the relationship she has with.
The contrast between Angel Reese's high-octane claims and Sophie Cunningham's unassuming excellence is a microcosm of a larger debate in the sports world today. On one side, you have a narrative built on bold declarations and relentless self-promotion, a narrative that suggests that being the face of a league means always being in the spotlight. On the other, you have a narrative grounded in performance and genuine fan connection, where actions on the court are the true measure of a player's worth. Let's examine the evidence. Angel Reese's promotional efforts have been extensive, to say the least. She positions herself as the marquee attraction, a walking billboard for what the league should represent. In her mind, she's got the ticket-pulling power of a global superstar, with merchandise sales that should rival the likes of the biggest names in sports history. Her rhetoric often paints her as the indispensable engine that drives the league's popularity, an icon whose mere presence is enough to fill arenas and command massive endorsements. However, when we look at the numbers, a very different story emerges. While Angel's self-promotional campaigns continue unabated, her own merchandise remains largely untouched. The stark contrast is evident when compared to the rapid sellout of Sophie Cunningham's jerseys. In the arena of public opinion and actual purchasing behavior, it's not the loudest voice that wins, it's the one that resonates with genuine fan interest. This isn't just a case of misplaced confidence, it's a lesson in the economics of popularity. Fans don't just tweet about who they think is changing the game, they back up their words with dollars at the merchandise counter. And right now, their money is speaking loud and clear. They're choosing Sophie Cunningham over Angel Reese. It's as if the market has spoken, declaring that authenticity and on-court performance are far more valuable than carefully crafted social media personas.
If you want a small, here's the sign. Here it is right here. Sold out. Right there. Oh, okay. Well, let me get a medium.
Moreover, the irony cannot be overstated. Angel Reese, who has spent countless hours positioning herself as the league's next big thing, now finds herself in a situation where every unsold jersey is a silent rebuke. Instead of capitalizing on her purported star power, she's forced to confront a harsh reality. The fans have found someone else who embodies what they truly want to see, a player who doesn't need to shout from the rooftops to prove her worth. This phenomenon extends beyond merchandise sales. It's reflected in the overall fan engagement at games. Consider the contrast in ticket sales between the Chicago Sky's preseason showdown against Brazil and the hype generated by Sophie Cunningham's presence. Despite efforts to drum up support with discount offers and promotional events, the ticket sales for Angel Reese's team have been disheartening, more akin to a quiet book signing than the raucous atmosphere one would expect for a marquee attraction. Meanwhile, Sophie's arrival has ignited an excitement that transcends the usual marketing buzz, transforming arenas into spaces where genuine enthusiasm and anticipation are palpable. There is a lesson here for all who try to manufacture success through hyperbole. True popularity isn't manufactured overnight. It is earned through consistent performance, dedication, and a deep-seated connection with the community. And when the market forces come into play, they have no time for empty rhetoric or forced narratives. They demand substance, authenticity, and a clear demonstration of talent qualities that, in this instance, Sophie Cunningham appears to have in abundance. Let's pivot to another critical aspect of the debate, the economic reality of ticket sales and arena attendance.
Sold out. Let me get a large. Sold out. Let me get an extra large. Sold out. Hey, 2XL. Sold.
In today's sports world, a player's or a team's popularity is measured not just in social media likes and retweets, but in the tangible metrics of ticket sales and arena energy. And here, the numbers speak volumes. In a recent preseason event, the Chicago Sky faced off against the Brazilian national team at LSU, a matchup that, on paper, should have drawn significant local interest. Instead, the tickets were barely selling, even at rates that seemed impossibly low. It was a scenario that underscored a troubling trend. Despite the self-assured proclamations of star power from figures like Angel Reese, the actual turnout did not reflect the promised frenzy. The empty seats served as a visual metaphor for the disconnect between marketed hype and the hard reality of fan engagement. For Angel Reese, who has long portrayed herself as the linchpin of the league's appeal, This discrepancy is a bitter pill to swallow. While she continues to tout her marketability, claiming the ticket sales of renowned figures and the endorsement power of global icons, the evidence from game days suggests otherwise. In stark contrast, when Sophie Cunningham's jersey was unveiled and quickly sold out,